keep recording. All right, so I'm gonna change to my screen. Oops. Be helpful. Should be writing down the objective for today. And I simplified the objective for today so I can multiply decimals to hundredths. Let's go ahead and write the steps down for today. The first step is multiply which we all know how to do. And then the second step is count the number of decimal places. And then going from right to left, add the same number of decimal places to the product. First step is multiply. The second step is count the number of decimal places. The third step is going from right to left, add the same number of decimal places to the product. What operation is a product? Will you show me with your arms? Good. Yep. Oliver, nice background. All right. Good. Multiplication. All right. I'm going to show you the first step, and then I'd like to do some whole brain teaching where you are repeating after me. All right, but first, I need somebody that hasn't been able to share the problem yet. Cam, have you read aloud yet? No? All right, will you read the problem at the top of page 268?
A sandwich shop uses 0.25 pounds of meat per medium sandwich. How many pounds of meat does the shop need to make 23 sandwiches for a catering order?
Good. All right. So first, we're going to estimate just as normal. So I'll go here. So we're going to be multiplying 0.25 times 23. And one note for setting it up, and I'm going to put a little star right here. Line the numbers to the right. We're not going to line up the decimals. Line numbers to the right. Okay, so what this looks like is this. And I generally find like the longer number, it's a lot easier. So I'm going to do 23 right here, and I'm going to multiply like that. So let's go ahead and estimate first. If we did front end estimation, we could round to the nearest dollar, or we could do looking over 0.2 times 20. And it would be, and we're going to learn this today. So it'd be 4, add the 0, 40, but then we'd have a decimal. So our answer would be around 4. They on the bottom, they rounded it to 30. You could do 0.3. It's flexible. So you could do 6 as the estimation too. We'll come back to that though. Okay, so we're going to line up the numbers to the right. Okay, and first we're gonna multiply like normal. So we're gonna start in this spot. I'm gonna use this color right here, and I'm gonna multiply all the way through. So I'm gonna ignore the decimal point in 25 hundredths right now. Okay, so I'm going to multiply like normal. So we have 5 times 3, which is 15. I'm going to carry the 1 because that's more than 9. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And then 3 times 0 is 0. Okay, and then we're going to move on to the next one. I'm going to do purple. And since we're multiplying by the next spot over, we're going to drop the turtle egg. Or what did Mr. Gordon used to say? Didn't he say drop the turd? Didn't he say that? That's what he tells me, that's what he'd say. Okay, since we're multiplying by the 10 spot there, so 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and then 2 times 0 is 0. And then we're going to add. I do not know why that was super droopy right there. Okay, so we have 5 plus 0 is 5, 7 plus 0 is 7, 0 plus 5 is 5, and then 0. So is my answer 575? No, because my estimation was around 6. So kind of looking at that second step, it says count the number of decimals. So I'm going to do this in green so you can see where I'm at. Okay, so right here, I'm going to start on the right, I'm going to move to the left, and I go 1, 2. So there's 2 decimal spots. Are there any decimal spots here? No, because it would be after, it's after the 3. Okay, so when I scroll down here, I'm going to start on the, oh, it's going to undo on me. Start on the right, and I'm going to move to the left. The same number of spots, that's step 3. Going from right to left, add the same number of decimal spots to the product. So I'm going to go like this, 1, 2. So my answer is going to be 5 and 75 hundredths. And the answer would be pounds, for the pounds of meat. Okay. So let's go ahead and do whole brain teaching with multiply, count the number of decimal spots. All right, you ready? And you'll just repeat it out loud, but stay muted. All right, ready? Mirror. Step number 1, multiply. Step number 2, count the number of decimal places. Step number 3, go from right to left with the same number of decimal places. From right to left with the same number of decimal places. All right, let's go back again. Let's go back again. All right, step number 1, multiply. Step number 2, count the number of decimal places. Step number 3, move from right to left, the same number of decimal places. Mirror. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and do the next problem, and then we'll all kind of open it up to the floor. All right, so let's go ahead and do we're going to do this problem right here. We have 0.121 times 4. Notice I lined the numbers all the way to the right. And I'm going to multiply like normal. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. And 4 times 0 is 0. Step number 2 is count the number of decimal places. So I'm going to count over like this. 1, 2, 3. So it's, and I like to do those little like bumps there, so that shows different place value. So there's 3 decimals here. How many decimal places should my answer have? Will you show me with your fingers? Good, it should be 3. So I'm gonna start all the way on the right, and it's the same. It's the same as what they have above. 1, 2, 3. So my answer is going to be 484 thousandths. Questions right now? All right. Let's go ahead and do another one. Let's do, try this one on your own. 2.8. Actually, it looks like 1 through 5, you have to decide where the decimal point goes. Go ahead and do that now. So you don't have to multiply it for numbers 1 through 5. You just have to decide where the decimal point goes. So you don't have to solve it because they give you the answer, but you have to decide where the decimal point goes. All right. Does anybody need more time? Okay. All right, so what we're gonna do is I want you to, with your fingers, I want you to show me where the decimal point is in between. So for the first one, where would the decimal point go? So I want you to give me with your fingers in between what 2 numbers? So if it's, so it'd be in between 8 and 4. Good. It'd be between 8 and 4. Why would it be between 8 and 4 when you do 2.8 times 3? Why would it be between 8 and 4, Addie?
It would be between 8 and 4 because the decimal spot is 1 spot over. So you'd move the decimal 1 spot.
Awesome. If you thought that too, will you give me 2 snaps? Good. Awesome. Thanks, Addie, and snaps for Addie too. Awesome. Thanks, Addie. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Where should the decimal point go for 6 and 31 hundredths times 16? Should be between 0 and 9. Good. So it should be 196 hundredths. Why would the decimal point go there? Connor, why would the decimal point go there?
Because if there's 2 spots, you have to move the decimal 2 spots, which equals 100.96.
You got that. Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. All right, snaps for Connor. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Number 3, what 2 numbers should be in between? 2 and 3. Awesome. So it should be 2 and 37 hundredths. Number 4, what should be in between? Good, the 0 and the 2, because there's 2 spots, so it should be 324 hundredths. And then number 5 should be between 2 and 7. So it should be 2 and 70 hundredths, or 2 and 7 tenths. Awesome. Good job, you guys. All right. I believe you guys all kind of explained for number 6. Okay, so what I'd like you to do next is I'd like you to do number 7. Number 7, I want you to do that number. So go ahead and follow the steps. So multiply first. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. Right, so we have 0.6 times 1.3. Oh wait, not 1.3, I apologize, 13. The way it's lined up, it looks like it's 1.3. All right, so first we're going to multiply. Will somebody talk me through this? Oliver, do you want to talk me through it?
Sure. So you do 6 times 3, which is 18.
Carry the.
Carry the 1,
Mhm.
and then you drop the 0.
Wait, and then 3 times 0
Is
plus 1.
yeah 1,
I see what you're doing. Yep.
and then you drop the 0 and do 1 times 6, which is 6, and then you add it together.
Good. Okay. And
And
then
the decimal goes over 1, so it goes over 1 on the answer. It should be 7.8.
awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and open it up. Any questions for me? Will? Oh wait, sorry, snaps. Snaps for Oliver. Thank you, Oliver. All right, questions for me? No? Okay, let's go ahead and do an exit slip. So if you want to solve the problem, and then if you could, I'll show you exactly how to do this if you don't know how to do it already, but if you go to the chat, you can message me individually. So I want you to message me individually. So say I'm messaging Jane, maybe. Only Jane would get that. So I want you to send me the message privately, the answer to the problem, and then we'll go from there. So that will be your exit slip. Once I've said, yep, you're good to go, then you are free to exit, or if you'd like to stay online, I can answer some questions. The exit slip today is number 8.
Did you say number 8?
Correct, number 8 on page 269.